Hi guys, and welcome to another Hero of the Week. This week's hero is Dawn Butler, Labour MP. So the Deputy Prime Minister Oliver Dowden was standing in for Rishi Sunak, who has been absent from Parliament more times than Boris Johnson has had kids, misled the House of Commons when he claimed that a Labour Party proposal would cost households an extra £1,000 a year. This was a lie. But as we know, you're free to lie in the House of Commons. Dawn called out this lie and also called for the Deputy Prime Minister to resign for breaching the ministerial code. Have a listen to this.
Point of order, Dawn Butler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't know if you're shocked, but I am. The Deputy Prime Minister had an opportunity to correct the record today where he misled the House on the 7th of June. He failed to do so, Mr. Speaker.
As we know, we can't say misled. Inadvertently, obviously, he must have misled.
Inadvertently, yes. It was inadvertent.
Okay.
Do it that way.
Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Prime Minister inadvertently misled the House but didn't come to correct the record, even though we've made it clear that he has, in regards to the £28 billion costing mortgage payers £1,000 a year. The only place that appeared was in the Daily Mail. He's disrespecting yourself, Mr. Speaker. He's disrespecting Parliament and the House, and according to the ministerial code, he should now resign. Mr. Speaker, can you advise me? He is in breach of the ministerial code. How can I ensure that he resigns?
Can I first of all say I thank everyone for giving notice of a point of order. What I would say is, as I said last week, the responsibility lies with the Minister to make any necessary correction to the record. What I would say is, I think it is upon government to look at itself. If the ministerial code is not being adhered to, I really do think the rules need to be looked at again to ensure that ministers, because don't forget elections change ministers as well, that ministers ought to ensure that this House hear the facts. I will leave it at that.
Of course you'll leave it at that, because it's pointless. What is the point of all of this? Minister can arrive, lie, and nothing happens about it. There's no punishment for the minister. In this case, the minister lied about a cost, a policy that the Labour Party want to push, and the only information related to it was in the Daily Mail. He was quoting statistics, but there was no actual real statistics. It was just a story in the Daily Mail. And we know the relationship between the right-wing media and members of the Conservative Party. We'll push a story on your behalf. You grandstand about it in the House of Commons. And even if you lie, well, nothing is going to be done about it. What's important is it sticks in the minds of the public. We convince the public through a lie that the Labour Party want to make life more expensive, or want to make people poorer, or want to cut jobs, or want to do X, Y, or Z. And it doesn't matter whether it's true or not, because when I say it in Parliament, and if I'm actually called out on it, as is the case here, nothing will happen. The minister is not going to come back and apologise or correct the record, because there's no obligation on him to do so. Boris Johnson really got the ball rolling. He knew that he could lie to Parliament and not have to come back and correct the record. He wouldn't be punished over it because Parliament has no teeth. Parliament can do nothing. Ministers can lie to Parliament, Prime Ministers can lie, and all that can happen is somebody can call it out during a point of order when the chamber is pretty much empty. It's pathetic. What is the point of a Parliament if it can't hold people to account? Like, they will say this is holding them to account, but it's not, because there's no obligation on the minister to come back and correct the record. And there's no punishment for him if he doesn't come back and correct the record. He can lie, knowing that the lie will make its way around the world before the truth has its trousers on, but there's no punishment for that lying. As I said, Boris Johnson got the whole thing rolling, really. He went, okay, I realise I can lie and no one can punish me over it. And I just continually lie at every time I'm at that dispatch box, and ministers are doing the same. There's no obligation, as I said, for Oliver Dowden to come back, apologise and correct the record. It's all a bit pointless. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. But it is important that somebody calls it out, and that's why Dawn Butler is Hero of the Week.